clip. The living room is one of the most frequently used rooms in the home. It's important that we assess this environment for safety for our patient, as they're going to be spending a great deal of their time here. One of the first things you want to do when you walk into the room is take note of the lighting. Is there adequate lighting for your patient? Are there any light switches when you walk into the room that are easily accessible to your patient? We want to make sure that they do not risk tripping or falling when walking through a dark room in order to turn on a light switch or turn on a lamp. Additionally, you want to do an initial assessment of the room to make sure there's no obvious obstacles or hazards that are in the way for your patient. Right away on the floor here, I noticed that there's a few toys from children or grandchildren. These things should be put away because they can easily be tripped on or stepped on. Additionally, you might notice a few blankets or other clutter scattered throughout the room as well. Now think back to your own observation, and now let's walk through the room together and take note of anything else that we see along the way. Right away to my right, I see that there is an outlet. Notice all the things plugged in here. This can be considered overloaded and can be an electrical, shock, or fire issue. If the outlet is warm to touch, that could be a sign that there's a wiring issue that should be addressed. While we're also talking about electrical related fire issues, we want to make sure we see if there's any sort of electrical cords or extension cords that are in use throughout the home. Down here I noticed that there's an extension cord in use. Any extension cords or electrical cords should be evaluated to make sure that they aren't damaged or frayed, as again it could be a fire issue. Additionally, you want to make sure that any kind of electrical cords or extension cords are not located underneath furniture or running underneath any sort of throw rugs, as they can lead to damage and again be a fire issue. Now let's move along to the room over here to near the fireplace. As we follow the extension cord, we see that a space heater is in use. Now space heaters can then again be a fire issue, especially when located this close to a blanket and any furniture. Space heaters should be located somewhere where they cannot be tipped over or knocked over or damaged in any way, where they can operate safely. Now over here we see that there's a telephone. This is a great opportunity to collect any sort of important phone numbers or contacts for your patient, especially in the event that they may forget any kind of important contacts in the time of need. Numbers for fire, police, doctors, EMS, these numbers should be collected and stored, maybe written in large print located right next to the phone in case they need these. Now think back to your observation. Did you see anything over here to this side of the room? Let's take a look. As I come over here, I notice that there's a few throw rugs. There's a large throw rug in the entire room, and we have this extra one over here. Throw rugs can be a tripping hazard for a patient, as they can easily be bunched and can move and be tripped and fall. You want to make sure that you check the throw rug for any sort of non-skid or rubber backing, as that can help prevent any sort of tripping over a throw rug. Over here we notice that there is a few empty beer bottles and an ashtray. If your patient uses drugs, alcohol, or tobacco, or if anyone in the home does, this can be a great opportunity to have a conversation, especially if these things can impact the quality of care being administered inside the home environment. Let's take a look over here to this last side of the room. Did you notice anything on that side? Let's take a look. As we walk through here, we notice that there's a few shoes in the way, especially in the entranceway of the room. This, of course, can be a tripping hazard. It can be considered extra clutter that can be a hazard for a patient. One last thing we notice over here is there's a candle. If the candle's burning, this could, of course, can then be, again, another example of a fire issue inside this room. These candles should be properly extinguished, especially in the event that our patient forgets to extinguish these things. It can lead to a larger issue.